All right, 47-year-old with Brown Sicard, T1, another T1 off a little bit. Here's the T2. There's the axial. So what do you think this is? Cord transection, arachnoid cyst, epidermoid, transdural cord herniation, or meningioma? I want only Hawaii 5-0 from now on. This is, can we do that? That's I'm into that. Shamil Shamazel thing. I'm not. Transdural cord herniation. Excellent. That is the correct answer. It's a very typical pattern for this entity. It's an important one to recognize. You have a dural rent. The cord makes a jog through this rent. Let's think about that. The following are true, except which of the following? Typical presentation of intracranial hypotension due to CSF leak. Clinical deficits tend to be progressive unless treated. Surgical reduction of the herniated cord can lead to improvement. And typical patient is an adult affected in the upper mid-thoracic level. Which of the following is incorrect? YU50. Where are we at? Okay. Ah, you're killing me up here with that, honestly. The answer is number 1, excellent, typical presentation of intracranial hypotension. Yeah, you know, it would think sort of intuitively you got a rent in the dura, why don't I'm seeing leaks, I should get hypotension, but if you look at the literature, they really do not present that way, so you are correct in that. It's really more the long track signs that they are seeing in this entity. An important one to recognize, often on the left anterolateral dura. Don't see very often, but important to recognize because they can go in, repair that, and stop the progression or even improve the patient. So an odd one, but an important one. The differential is really, is this a pusher or a sucker? Is it being sucked out or is it being pushed from the back? And they can look quite ominous on the CT. Big divot here. Cord looks like it's gone away, almost transected, but it's really just in that rent. Here's an arachnoid cyst. He shows you the difference, a little bit smoother transition. There's the flap of the arachnoid cyst, and here's just an incidental or not so incidental syrinx up above that level, and you see a little bit of the dephasing in the arachnoid cyst. All right, time for one more maybe. 52-year-old with female burning sensation, hands and feet. It is abnormal, T1, T2, stir. I really like stir for cord disease. There's the enhanced study. So what do you think? Is it an abscess? Is it demyelinating disease? Is it an astrocytoma? Is it granulomatous disease? Or is it subacute combined degeneration? Thank you. I'm going to end up on the right note literally here. Excellent. Book 'em down. All right. And the answer? Okay. That's a tough case. I think all of these are possible. Let's go through abscess. Nobody liked that. That's good. Cord abscesses do occur over this extensive of a pattern, be very unusual, kind of a weird location. Why dorsal? That doesn't make sense. Demyelinating disease, possible. Astrocytoma, it's really extensive. It looks a little bit more infiltrating, doesn't have a real well-defined margin. Possible, but unlikely. Granulomatous disease is the correct answer. Subacute combined degeneration, who knew that it enhances that much? It's really not in my differential for something that big that enhances. This is granulomatous disease. This is sarcoid. More typical pattern is going to be the high signal, sort of the enhancement, lumpy, bumpy, nodular pattern, leptomeningeal disease. All right, last question here. Let's think about sarcoid. It's a multisystem, non-caseating granulomatous disease. The CNS involvement in approximately 20% of cases. Most commonly involves the meninges, cranial nerves, hypothalamus, pituitary. Spinal cord and adjacent spinal meninges are rarely involved. Which of the following is true except?